Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining the channel today. I'm Dane, your host of the Rock and Metal Guardian. Hope you're having a great holiday season so far. This is my third installment or episode in my new mini-series called Back to Back, the Greatest Album Pairs of All Time. Before we dive into today's artist or band, I want to talk about yet again, what are the qualifications to make this list? And again, there's no order here. I'm just presenting them as I feel I should present them, if that makes sense. So there's no ranking, in other words. So the qualifications are as such. They must be back-to-back in the discography, chronologically speaking. Next, they have to complement one another. Another way of saying that is their companion albums. Third, the second one in the pair must pick up, so to speak, where the previous one left off. Does it have to be totally sounding like the previous one, tone-wise, production-wise? No, but there must be that similarity. Next, it could act, both albums could act or work as a double album, and we often, or many of us, will play both of these albums back to back as if they were a double album, or even better, or similarly, we might make our own double album by importing them into iTunes or burning them, maybe or maybe not rearranging the track listing. And then finally, this one is key as well, is both of them must be seminal works. So today, finally, I'm going to talk about Aerosmith, Toys in the Attic, and of course the one that follows is Rocks. Now, let's start with Toys in the Attic, going, of course, chronologically speaking. The first song on Toys in the Attic is the title track. You have a wonderful intro here, lyrically and thematically dealing with leaving things behind, leaving the things you love behind, and that's why this is one of the reasons why, this song works so well, is because lyrically it hooks us, at least for me, into this thematically important topic. And the music itself is wonderful as well. You have a great chorus and a wonderful, absolutely fabulous bluesy solo, which I think is the best part of the song. Next, you have Uncle Salty, which many have argued doesn't go with the rest of the album. Well, there's another song that doesn't go quite well with the rest of the album, but I like both of these. But let's talk about Uncle Salty first. This is an odd song, as I said, yet I think it's very likable. When I play this, there is one song that I will often skip. I think you know which one that is. This is not one of them. Again, I like it. It's a moving song because the music is enjoyable, but in addition, thematically dealing with the touchy subject of when a child is being neglected. What do you do with that, right? You have some great singing from Tyler here, those high register bits from Tyler that make the song work, right? And you get a reprise near the end of the song where Tyler repeats or says, "There's a sunny day outside my window," and that's repeated a few times. And what's odd about when this part pops back up or pops up in the song towards the last third of the song, it sounds like, it sounds like, and it's odd, it sounds like Tyler's voice is both in the back of the mix and in the front of the mix at the same time. It's really weird, at least to my ears. So anyway, let me wet my whistle a little bit. But you have also a great solo in the song, and overall the synergy on this song is quite good. Again, it's an odd sounding song. It's not the Aerosmith we come to expect, and yet it works quite well, so it's a good song. Next is Aerosmith and Steven Tyler's take on the Genesis Garden of Eden bit, right? In Adam's Apple, you have a great bluesy intro, which is just phenomenal, and you have some fun wordplay, a pun from Tyler when he sings "Back When Cain Was Abel," right? Just great. So dealing with the topic of original sin, and the guitar here from Whitford and Perry is just dynamite. This is a great song. Next, of course, is Walk This Way. And this is a song I will often skip. Some have cited this because of the Run DMC thing as the first rap song. Well, you have to have more than rhymed couplets for something to be rap. It helps, but I don't see that. I see that as kind of a recency bias thing. But anyway, now, this song is overplayed, and I will often, most times I will skip it, but once in a while I will play it, and I listened to it this morning, and I found myself enjoying it because it's been a while. So anyway, so can a song that's overplayed still be good? Well, of course, it's just overplayed, right? And so I think the trick, if we talk about that for just a minute, not too long, I think the trick in dealing with songs that are overplayed is don't listen to the radio, first of all, and I don't much anymore. And if you do and it comes on, well, you change the channel or turn it off, play something else. And if you find yourself listening to a song like this that's considered overplayed and you're still not enjoying, well, it's time to just put it away for good, right? So it depends on the person, but I found myself enjoying the song, tapped my foot, that kind of thing, sang along in my head. So will I listen to it soon? No, but it is a good song. So anyway, enough of that little minor rant. Number 5, this song does not go with the rest of the album like Uncle Salty, but a different genre, and I'm talking, of course, about Big 10-Inch Record, and this is a fun, swing, big bang song from Tyler and Crew, and I love it. It never gets old for me. Yeah, we know the song title and lyrics is an innuendo. It's a pun on, he's not talking about playing a record necessarily like the original mix version, if you will, but it's a great song. It's rock and roll, and so we're going to talk about those kind of things, right? That's what part of rock and roll is about. Next is Sweet Emotion, arguably also quite overplayed. You have the voice box intro, and the vocals that come in right after that, they're quite captivating and mesmerizing. You have the chugging guitar or a shuffling guitar at times, which I just love. The drums near the end is fabulous. The killer guitar that comes after the drums near the end from Whitford and Perry is just fabulous, and you have that wonderful outro, so just great. Then you get my second favorite song is No More, No More. The lyrics are fabulous. The phrasing we love and the phrasing we've known and what's the expression? The phrasing we've known and grown to love, or what we expect from Tyler is just fabulous here. It's what we want from Tyler. It's the way we want him to sing. And this permeates throughout the album, but this one, it really shines. So No More, No More. The solo, I think, is underrated. So yeah, again, the phrasing on No More, No More is fabulous. Next, my favorite song on the album, perhaps my favorite Aerosmith song of all time, is Round and Round. I just love the way the song begins. You get that, all right, ja, and then it launches, right? It's just great. And it's heavy. This is perhaps Aerosmith's heaviest song. I love it, as I said. And you got, once in a while in the song, Tyler goes, look here. I love that. I love it. He sounds angry and yet laid back at the same time, the way he sings the song, if that makes sense. I love it. Fabulous chorus, perhaps my favorite chorus of all time, or pre-chorus. And the solo is dynamite. The solo is fantastic. It's in the back of the mix a bit, but it's still great. And then you get to the last song, the ballad, You See Me Crying, which I love. When I was younger, I used to think that perhaps this should have been somewhere else in the track listing, perhaps after Sweet Emotion, and let the album end on a heavier, powerful note with No More, No More and Round and Round. But listening to it this morning, I found that it's perfect where it is. It's the perfect way to end this album, even though it's a ballad. You have this great piano. It's a great ballad, as I said. Overall, the song was just wonderful. I think it's quite remarkable. You have a slow bluesy guitar with an amazing touch of horns near the end. Just brief though, but it works. So this minor orchestration at the end. And then after that goes away, near the end, you have the piano returning. So the song comes full circle. And but before the piano is reintroduced in the song near the end of the track, you have Tyler, with his kind of thing going, right? It's just great. I love it. So great way to end the album. Now let's talk about rocks. So the first song, as you know, is Back in the Saddle. Again, an overplayed song. Don't listen to the radio, right? You have the horse winning soon after the opening hook. The slow building intro, then the winning, as I said. And of course, the song is not about a horse or the saddle on the horse, as it's rock and roll, right? I'll leave it at that. This is overall a good song and it's fun. Again, overplayed though. Last Child, the second track. This one for me never gets old. Another radio hit, radio staple. The opening to Last Child has that dreamy, dream on feel to it from the first album, first 20 seconds or so. You have that shuffling sound and pacing that I love. The phrasing from the vocals is, again, what we know and love from Steven Tyler in the band. And the guitar work here is one of the band's best. Next is Rats in the Cellar. I've always wondered, is this the song that inspired Rat to name themselves Rat, the band? Anyway, this is a heavy rockin' song. You have a quasi metal bit going on here. It's more blues than metal, but it's heavy, hard rockin' blues, a little metal there. Again, did this song influence the band Rat? Who knows? I know they were influenced by Aerosmith, but was this song that made them want to name themselves that? Anyway, this song has a certain charm to it. It's slow, bluesy, yet fast-paced because there's a back and forth between the slow bluesy feel and the fast-paced stuff. All right, next is an underrated gem, if you ask me, Combination. The phrasing on here is just fabulous. Tyler singing in that middle range area. He's not too high, he's not too low. It's perfect. I wish there were more songs like this that stayed in that middle vocal range from him. That's okay. So this interplay between all members here is just fabulous. The synergy is top-notch, one of their best. And the last minute or so of the song is just guitar, or mostly guitar, and the guitar work is just fabulous. It's great. So I can't oversell Combination when I talk about this album. I know some people think it's the worst song on the album, okay? But in my opinion, I just love it. So the next song is Sick as a Dog, which also is, I think, an underrated song. You have some odd sounding guitar here at the 1 minute 50-second mark. I like it. It's a bit repetitive at times with the constant of Tyler saying please, please, please over and over again. But that's what the song's about. He's begging, and that's what the song is dealing with. So I get it, but it can be a little bit too much at times. Not a song I will listen necessarily in every run through of the album. But the chorus is fabulous. The chorus is fun. At one point he says, "Sick as a dog. What's the matter? You sick as a dog? Cat got your tongue," right? That pun on cats and dogs, right? I love it. And at the 3:18 mark, you have some guitar work that's brief, and then you have the outro, and this is a great way to end the song. So Sick as a Dog, I think, like Combination, two differently sounding songs, both underrated in my estimation. And then we get to Nobody's Fault. This song is amazing. This is the gem of the album. This is my favorite song on the album. Perhaps if you talk about both albums, my favorite song with both. If you talk about both, this is my favorite of both albums. The voice box is just great. It's heavy, but of course the voice box comes in after a few weird notes that kind of go and then you get that, right? The voice box is great, and then the heavy phrasing of the repetitive word sorry, or we're so sorry, right? It's great from Tyler. This is one of those songs also on the album where the synergy is perfect from bass, drums, guitars, and Tyler's vocals. Just great. This is the Aerosmith we want more of, right? Anyway, Joey's drums here, Joey Kramer's drums here are one of his best, if not his best. I wanted to say that. So the first guitar solo on the track is absolutely fabulous, and then the second one is even better. And the fade out is a great way to end the song. Great. And then the next song is Get the Let Out. This is my least favorite song on the album. The second half of the song is what makes this song for me because of the guitar work, and then the shift in what's mostly instrumental, more guitar, and a hint of Tyler's voice in the background and back in the mix. So if it wasn't for that back half of the song, I probably would skip the song a lot more. Anyway, next is Lickin' a Promise. You have a great way to introduce the song with Kramer's drums. It's brief, but I like it. And then The phrasing and pace is similar in the song to No More, No More on the previous album, Toys in the Attic. The chorus is rife with innuendo. Then you have a great guitar solo. And then, like the previous song, Get the Let Out, the last minute or so of the song leans on focusing on the guitar. Anyway, and then finally you get Home Tonight. I have a bit to say about the song. This, not a lot, but a little bit. Home Tonight, I think, is an underrated gem. This song foreshadows what's to come on everything from Permanent Vacation and beyond. And that stuff I don't like, but here it works. So you get the soft pop stylings that begin with Permanent Vacation, as I said, but there's a difference. You have an energy that's genuine. The guitar work is great. They're not phoning it in. I like it. The guitar at the end, the solo is heavy blues. So it works. You have the song works so well because while it's a ballad, you still have that bouncing back and forth between light and shade. And then you have the fade out at the end of the song, like some of the other tracks I mentioned on this album. So, and part of the difference is that while this is a ballad, you still have some heavy bluesy guitar but it doesn't come off as disingenuous, as I said, or forced or phoning it in, and it doesn't sound saccharine. And it's unfortunate that Aerosmith couldn't do more songs like this that weren't just, hey, let's get a radio hit. This is a song that I love to play, and I always look forward to listening to Home Tonight when I play this album. I never skip it. So anyway, there you have it. This is two of the greatest albums of all time, if you ask me. And it's such a shame that Aerosmith never really came back to this sound that we know and love. Anyway, have a blessed holiday season. The rest of it, take care now. Bye now.